You are the one that's imprisoning yourself from success. You are the one trapping yourself in this situation. You are the one that's refusing to listen to people that give you advice on what to do. You're the one refusing to listen to yourself about what you know is best for you. You are letting these past mistakes of things that you've done, things that you haven't done, imprison you in this life that you don't want. You know what to do. You know what your future holds. You have the potential for greatness. The world needs you. The world needs your passion, your thoughts, and what you have to bring. But you don't believe that you have that. And if you don't believe it, the world's never going to believe you. And you have to think about our ancestors. Think about people from the past. Think about the struggle they have gone through, worse than you. And I feel like it's complete disrespect for us to be complacent despite our issues because of the people that came before us that have dealt with worse. If you were born 20 years before you were born, 30 years before you were born, 40 years before you were born, your life would have a lot more obstacles than it does right now. Well, especially when we have the internet and resources, we can make things happen in ways that were not possible in the past. So I don't want to hear you say anymore that you are a victim and that your life is hard and difficult, but that's not true. Those are beliefs that you're choosing to attach to, and those beliefs are creating and forming your identity, and it's also affecting your behavior. So to undo this process, we have to go to our beliefs. What are you believing about life and believing about yourself? Because that is the master. That's the thing that is controlling your life, is your beliefs. If you believe that you are a victim and you don't believe you're free, you believe you're trapped in circumstances, in certain ways of living, then that's going to be your life. But if you want to free yourself, it's easy. Just say you're free. I'm free to do whatever I want. I'm free to have whatever I want. If I desire something, I deserve to have it, and I can have it. And I can do the work and take the time and have the patience to manifest that for myself. And your problem is that you're thinking about this golden age of your life in the past and assuming that life is going to be as good as it was at that point, or life should go back to that type of point. But that's history. That's the past. And the wisest person knows that they cannot change the past. What they can do is learn from the past. What they can do is create a better future. And you have to believe that. You have to know that your future can look better than your past. The person that you were with before, you can be with someone better. The job that you had before, you can have a job that's better. Everything can be better in your future, but you have to allow it to be. The only way you allow it to be is when you believe it and you choose to work towards it every single day, despite the hardship. If you are able to just confront difficulty every single day and apply light pressure over time, you can be the most powerful person on earth. But you have to believe in yourself to do that. And I can't make you believe in yourself, but I can remind you to do that, because that's something that I have to constantly do for myself. I have to constantly remind myself that you can do it. You are amazing. You are intelligent. You are smart. They don't believe in you. They don't like you. They do hate you. And they probably think you're lame and you're boring and you're never going to be as amazing as them. But you have to prove them wrong. And you have to prove you wrong with all the negative thoughts that you have about yourself. So I owe it to me, and you owe it to you, to give yourself better, to do better for yourself. Use the resources that you have. You don't have everything. You're not the richest person right now in this moment, and that's okay. Use what you have. Using what you have in being creative is how you I wish I could put it into words, but we are meant to be creators. And creators use the resources that they have to create. Our ancestors used to use the herbs from the environment, the water that they had, whatever they had in the environment around them, the people that they had. They leaned on whatever they had to manifest whatever they needed. You cannot afford to use the past as ammunition in the argument of saying that life is bad and life is never going to be good for me. You don't have time for that. The stuff that's going on in the world right now, you're needed. Your passion, what you can do and what you can bring, you're needed. If you can open up your eyes and see the potential in front of you, you can work towards it. It's never going to be easy. Your past has been really, really hard and showed you that it's not going to be easy. but it's going to be worth it. You have to think about your ancestors, think about the people that love you, and think about the fact that there's people that have come before you that have struggled and still made a way. There are plenty of celebrity stories, influencer stories where they have struggled and still made a way for themselves. So therefore, there is no excuse for you. You don't have time to focus on what happened to you, who hurt you, the relationship that you were in, the jobs that you didn't get. You don't have time for that. You can't afford that, because the moment that you're complaining and thinking about it is the same moment you're not getting up and doing something about it. And the thing about me, I have been prone to complain in my life, but I always figure it out. I use the resources, whether it's family or friends or whatever I can get my hands on. I use the resources to get out of the situation that I'm in, because I have a really deep desire to live a certain type of life. And I feel as though my past of like the 10 different friendships that I've had that have like exploded out of nowhere, the romantic situations that didn't end up right, the financial setbacks, I could not let that stop me at this point. And the only reason I've even made it this far, especially in college, is because I chose to. I could have given up. I could have done something different with my life, but I chose to stick it through because I owe it to myself. And if I ever give up on my journey while I'm still working to get towards the result, all the stuff that happened to me in the past that I've already conquered and struggled through, if I give up, none of that matters anymore. It's like I went through all that struggle for nothing. And instead of just going through all that for nothing, I have to prove to myself that it was worth it. And I can prove that by what I'm doing today, what I'm doing right now. So when it comes to what you're doing, focus on the future. Focus on what you're doing right now to get towards the future that you want, because you can have it. You can't have it if you cage yourself in the mindset of being the victim, because you were hurt, because people didn't like you, because people told you, online on Twitter that you weren't good enough, or they just criticized something about you. But let that be part of your storyline. Let those be the things that you say in the future interviews when you go on the talk shows and you tell your story and your memoir and your book. Let those negative scenarios be the things that actually motivate you. Don't allow yourself to be in a victim mindset, because a victim is looking to be saved, and a victim is constantly looking towards their past. And in this day and age, we have to be our own saviors. We have to work with that God energy within us and trust that this God energy inside of me is guiding me and directing me on my path, and I will find meaningful and fulfilling work, opportunities, and people. And it's really through trusting that internal guided system that everything else flows. Life is constantly going to bring you a challenge, a challenge, a challenge. However, it's about how you alchemize that situation in your favor. Everything is a resource if you know how to make it one. But everything can also be an obstacle if you allow it to be. Courage is one of the most important virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any of the other virtues consistently. So when it comes to courage, it's about feeling the fear, experiencing the hurt, the pain, but still being able to move forward. Still being able to move forward with those emotions and allowing them to naturally pass. I'm not asking you to be a perfect person. I'm not asking you to completely forget about your past. What I'm asking you to do is to move forward and make that decision, because it's your decision to do it. It's your decision. Everything in life is really a decision. We have a lot more power in our lives than we think. We just are so boxed in and plugged into what other people are doing and what life, the storyline we feel like life is giving us, but we're the ones actually writing the story. We're the ones putting the meaning and perception into everything in our lives. Nothing's telling you your life is hard. It's not written in the clouds. You're thinking life is hard. So that's what it's going to be. It's going to continue to look hard for you. So being able to be the own author of your story and being like, okay, I'm not going to change my behavior first. I'm going to change the identity that I'm placing over myself. I'm removing the identity of being a victim, and I'm inputting the new identity of being a victor, of being a winner, of being a resourceful person, of being a perseverer, of being someone who will continue to move forward despite. Just say that to yourself. I choose to move forward despite. I choose to navigate around this issue. One thing I learned in Taoism was that when you have to deal with something very, very difficult, you have to be able to apply light pressure to it every day. Some things can't be removed out your life forcefully. Some things require a consistent approach where every single day you apply a little pressure to the issue. And if you can just give yourself that, you're going to make so much progress in 3 months, in 6 months, in a year. If you can just apply a little bit today. If you can make one video, make one song, you can go to one class, you can do one assignment. If you can just make some progress, whereas you're not making any, you can apply pressure to this very, very difficult situation. But it's allowing yourself to believe that it's possible that you will get over and get past the situation at some point. But think about today. What are you not doing today? What little pressure, what little power you have over the situation today where you can just add a little pressure in this moment? What can you be doing right now that you're not currently doing? What is something that you know you should have been doing, but you're avoiding it because you're making excuses? So just allow yourself to put that pressure in right now. For me, I just have a deep yearning for something better in my life. And I have a deep desire that I know, it's like I've already lived my life before. It's like mad deja vu. Like, I know I'm meant to be successful and wealthy and be around great people and inspire a lot of people. It's like, in a way, I feel like I've already lived this life, or like God has already shown me, and like I'm already walking on the path already. So it's like, I have a deep set of confidence that my life is going to completely work out. I think where I get caught up is I don't know how it's going to work out. But I've also realized through a lot of humbling through spirit that you don't need to know that. Like, that's actually not part of the contract. The part of the contract is you just doing what you want to do and doing it to the best of your ability and trusting you'll get to that point. But it's not part of the contract to know how you're going to get there. The way that God does business deals with you is not the same way a physical person does business deals with you. When you sign a contract for a company, they're going to tell you the what, why, and how. Whereas with God, you don't get the how, and you don't always get the why, but you do get what you want and what you ask for. But you have to walk the path there, and God is not going to completely push you to that point. It's like what people say, like, I can take you to the water, but I can't make you drink. That's a lot how God works. Like, God can bring you there. The internal God within you, the intuition that you have, the voice speaking inside of you, it can bring you to certain points, but it can't make you fully engaged with everything. And that's the thing with, like I keep saying in this video, I can bring it to you, but I can't make you engage. So what's it going to take for you to just engage? What's it going to take? How much more struggle do you need to go through? Life is going to be hard either way. Whether you go after your goals or you don't go after your goals, you're still going to deal with difficulty. So why not go after your goals and have difficulty and actually have a chance at like actually achieving them versus not doing anything and not going after your goals and then also still dealing with the difficulties of life? I'd rather go with the one where I'm actually walking on the path towards my goals, but that's just me. And I'm not going to drag this concept. I really just wanted to come and say something short and sweet and just remind you of this fact and let you think about this in your own life. And I'm going to continue to work on myself and be on my journey. And I want you to do the same. So with that being said, I hope you liked, enjoyed this video or whatever. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all those amazing, beautiful things. Comment down below, fire emoji. And I will see you guys in my next video. See you later.